Hi there, my name is Tercy Engelhardt, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. And every week I share some version of, I am so grateful that you're here. And this week is no different. So thank you for being here. Some of you are invited by a friend. Some of you I maybe just popped up on an algorithm. Many of you know me from some avenue in my life. And for those of you that don't, welcome. Grateful to have you here. So let's see here. A couple reminders. I'm not here because I have your answers. I'm here simply sharing stories from my own journey of recovering from abuse as a teenager and then living with an eating disorder for 20 years, keeping the abuse a secret, and now 40 years of recovery. And through this process, there's wisdom that I've gleaned from both other people's stories, my own experiences, things I've read about, things that have happened, and I'm simply sharing them with you, as well as things that are currently happening, because it's never over. There's always an opportunity for us to become a little bit more of that person we were created to be, a little bit more fully living from those qualities of it, the divine that are imbued in all of us, rather than from avoiding pain, sorrows, loss, living in judgment, expectation, whatever it may be. There's a life that's available for us to live from all of those qualities that each of us have inside of us, and to let those be the ones that guide us in our life. Okay, so that's why we're here, and I am grateful that you're here with me. So let's see here. This is going to be released just after July 4th. And, it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time for our country. It's an interesting time in the world. And people have lots of different views about celebrating the independence of our country. And yet, I think it's valuable and important. Just like my sister got great news this week. For those of you that have been listening in lately, we're walking through a cancer diagnosis and chemotherapy. And so we went in for her 4th infusion. She's scheduled for 5, and then they check, and then we see what's next. Anyway, we went in for our 4th, met with the oncologist, and he told her it was her last one. She didn't have to do her 5th. And, a couple of experiences. I was elated. I thought it was such a great outcome. My sister was a little suspicious, like, oh no, does it mean I've done something wrong? Does it mean it's not working? I want to make sure they get it all. I'd rather just finish the whole thing. But his concern really was that she could end up with permanent neuropathy, and he didn't want that to happen. And he felt like, based on the feedback she's giving him, the labs that they're watching, he decided that this was enough. And so now we're waiting for an appointment for her to do a MRI. They'll see the progress that's made, and then we'll look at what's going to come next. Is it going to be surgery? Is there going to be something else they recommend? We don't know. So as I told her, hey, we don't have to worry about that yet. Let's just live for today, be excited you're going to have a break. And it's great because her sons are coming. So it just all worked out perfectly. And I oftentimes have this experience. There's a power greater than us managing all of this, and that timing is way more perfect than anything we could plan. So I'm celebrating. But the reason I wanted to share this story with you is after her last infusion, the nurses said, wait a minute before you leave. They all came in who were working. They had her ring a bell. They gave her a certificate acknowledging her bravery, a keychain with a Bob Marley quote, and a little crocheted heart that other patients had made and left for everyone, a little pocket heart. And I found myself thinking how important it is that we do acknowledge and recognize and celebrate all of the little steps along the way. Her journey's not over, but that particular step is. And so taking the time to celebrate that. So I want to encourage you. It doesn't mean things have to be perfect. When I look at the 4th of July coming up, it doesn't mean our country's perfect. but it does mean we can celebrate the independence. And there's so many ways that we have freedom that we probably mostly take for granted. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, so this particular episode's about bringing extraordinary love into ordinary places. So those nurses were an example of that. Now, I'm not saying your last day of chemotherapy is an ordinary place, but I am saying a chemotherapy room where people come and they sit and they're hooked up to an IV and they're dealing with some diagnosis. And sometimes there's a loved one there with them, and sometimes there's not. But in that way, it's an ordinary place. And the people that are there are challenged. And the way those nurses celebrated the completion of this round of her chemotherapy was bringing extraordinary love into a very ordinary place. And so I want to encourage all of us to do that. It sounds maybe easier than it is because mostly I think it's easy for us to express love when we feel loved. It's also easy for us to express love to people that we think are easy to love. But in situations where we're challenged, where it's difficult, that's where the real power of love has the biggest opportunity. And that's extraordinarily loving in an ordinary time or place. And it's a beautiful opportunity for us to deepen our ability to let love in and to let love out. And I think as I navigate these waters with my sister, that's one of the challenges is letting love in all the ways that love looks, letting it in, letting any aspect of unworthiness, fear, doubt, yeah, getting that out of the way so that the love can come in and heal whatever it is that's up for healing. And so, extraordinary love, how I would define extraordinary love, is it's loving anyway, not getting stopped. It's loving no matter what. That's extraordinary as opposed to qualifying our love or feeling like someone or something or sometime is worthy of love, or because we all are. We're all worthy of being loved. We're all worthy of loving. But we have to work to develop our ability to live in and from that place. So that's what I want to challenge you to this week. Wherever you might be, whatever your situation might be, whatever you're facing, see if you can expand your capacity to love by doing exactly that, bringing extraordinary love into very ordinary times and places. Okay? Have a beautiful celebration this weekend. Count what you have to be grateful for, all the independence you currently live in, and then get that extraordinary love out there into everyday life, people, and situations. I'll see you next week, and I look forward to seeing you then.